right, chat, this is important. Everybody grab your notepads. I'm gonna be talking about the things I hate with a burning passion by yours truly. This is probably the most important presentation I've ever made in my entire life. All right, we're gonna start it off early. One thing I hate, acronyms. Hate them. Just pick better names for things. That's one. That's one thing I hate with a burning passion. Second thing I hate is someone telling me they have a surprise for me at a later point in time, but not telling me what that surprise is. Hate that so much because then, like, the relief of getting to know what the surprise is overwrites the satisfaction of, like, getting it, like being happy that you got something from someone, right? So, like, it just kind of ruins it. It's bad. I hate it. Thirdly, though, and this is the thing that really sets me off, because I'm the Sombra guy, I'd like to introduce and meet, I'd like to let everybody meet potential Perk. Yeah, this presentation is about a giant rant about the perk. Potential Perk. This is the stealth perk. Now, you know, I made a little meme. You know, if you can pause the video if you want to check out the meme, but I'm gonna pretty much go over everything. I call it the tourist perk. The moment I see another Sombra player pick this perk, I'm like, that's a tourist. That's a tourist. They don't know what they're doing. They just think they see what they like on paper and they do stupid stuff, right? Because its intention is to make it easier to do nothing. That's kind of the crux of it. It makes you think you're more intentional about things, but you're not. You're just doing less things so it, like, mentally stands out more. It's not actually better, right? You're just seeing more coverage over less actions. It doesn't actually make you more strategic in nature, because the more you're in stealth, the less you do, and that's a certified fact. We all know that. It doesn't even add anything. There's no utility, right? If you already have stealth on the Translocator, it's just more of it. And then this is a reiteration of my original stance on the perk when it first came out. People just kind of pick it because permanent stealth was a honeypot scam, right? It looked alluring, right? You were stealth the entire time. You'd never really die. You'd never really get challenged, and you had complete control over your dives, but you did less. But it was appealing and appetizing because at least you wouldn't be dead. And if you fall for that, that's embarrassing. Let's go over a scenario. This is the oh shit, I got Spychecked scenario. I made a little flow chart here, right? You're a soldier standing on high ground and a Sombra pops up, right? You spy check a Sombra, a soldier behind you, but then she unstealths and shoots back. She then translocates up to the sky, is gone for a second or two, and unstealths again with regained health. Shoot at her, you get her attention, and then suddenly she has more health than you can bargain with, which leads to her killing you. That's value for the Sombra. Alternatively, you kill her. Well, that's good for you, but you live and have to wait for the cooldowns to come back. So, like, you still have a lot of downtime. Sombra still gets value out of that at all. And then there's also the scenario in which you are low health after killing the Sombra, and then someone else finishes you off, which means the Sombra still gets value. This happens a lot more than you think. And then the other route, which is the reason why I kind of hate it, is the same thing happening, but every step of the way, all she really does is just try to get out. Either way, at best, your impact is neutral. At best. At best, you achieve nothing. Let me emphasize that. At best, you achieve neutral. With the self-heal perk, at least you can scrounge up some value that can still lead to that Sombra getting value off of being spy checked regardless. So that's kind of like the big stinker here. Let's give complete cadence and preference to the stealth perk. Say we have the perfect scenario for the stealth perk. The way that people always go, actually, the way that I use stealth, this is what they do. They say they do the hack and hide gambit, right? They hack someone, then they wait for a second or two behind cover, and then they go in after they stop looking for you. Only problem is, right, that's it. Even in the perfect scenario, that is your only real thing. You don't really have anything else in between there. You hack on it, you hide for a second around a corner, and then you get to decide either you abandon the dive to look for a health pack, which means you have no impact, or you interrupt stealth and you engage on them, which then it is like in the act of being able to carry out properly. Either you get the kill and you get the one kill and then you fuck off, or you have no impact and you fail, right? Alternatively, this is a little bit more of a bush scenario, right? There's a little bit more going on, right? With the self-heal, you hack the target, you then hide for a second around a corner because you can still do that, right? You wouldn't do it in stealth, but I mean, if the person you're hacking knows where you are, they know where you are regardless of you being in stealth or not, they can easily spy check. That is very common these days, right? So you can do the same thing, you can still hide for a second and then pop out after they start looking for someone else, right? Sure, not as perfectly as the other one, but that's where skill comes in. That's where you practice that and then make up for the difference in setup value, because the rest of the perk is kind of the argument mostly. Then you shoot and virus, you try, and either you get the kill and then look for the next target because it is not in your gameplay loop to go for a health pack immediately. You don't need to. you can heal. You have a health pack in your back pocket at all times, right? There's a big difference in that. If you go into things planning to run away from them, you're gonna eventually run away from them. If you just don't, and you go down with the ship, you risk, sure, a lot more death, but you also get a lot more consistent value across the board. A big thing here, and this is kind of like the thing that makes me look at Sombra players either being good or bad, is the way that they use Translocator, right? Stealth perk is for either before an engagement or after, not in between. And fun fact, between is where all the stuff happens. All of it. That's the game. That's where the game happens, right? So the moment a fight starts, your perk does not get used. There is no use in it. Once stealth itself is interrupted, both perks have the same cooldown regardless, right? It doesn't really matter if you have longer stealth or not. In the middle of a fight, it is kind of necessary for you to just do as much as you can, as often as you can, wherever you can. Getting out means you might as well be dead, right? Just because you're not actually dead doesn't mean your value can't be equal to being dead. You might as well be dead, right? And for both perks, eventually, at some point, you interrupt your own stealth because that's how you interact with the game, right? Whether you give up 5 seconds of stealth or 1 second of stealth, you interrupt your own stealth. You just, you do. That's part of the game. You know, the alternative use is if you just completely remove the idea of needing to run to a health pack, you can use a Translocator to dodge a flashbang, to cleanse an anti, hell, even cleanse Reinhardt's Shatter or Sleep from Ana. You can use it to bait, like an Ilari, or you can, I mean, very often I've baited a Reinhardt's Shatter just for funsies, right? You can also get an off angle by going to a slightly higher altitude, like maybe, I don't know, Gibraltar's second point on the spaceship. You can just bloop right up there, right? If you're not going to run to a health pack, you can just do all that instead. The instead is the big thing, and with the self-heal perk, a whole new thing happens. You literally get healed. Not gonna lie, I don't understand how this is a debate at this point. You literally heal yourself. That's big. That is really big. For uptime's sake, that is insane, right? The difference between using an ability and getting healed from it and not is really big. So I made a little list here. You can compare the two, again, you know, and then the last point, and this is the most important one, and I cannot stress this enough, you look fucking stupid. I'm sorry, I said it. When you have the stealth perk and you get spy check, you just look fucking goofy because you cannot interrupt your stealth, because then you just give up your stealth, right? You have to stay stealth to look to get away and break line of sight. So you're just like, you're in stealth, you're like, ooh, you can't touch me, and then you just keep getting shot and you die. You just look goofy. You look goofy. With the self-heal perk, you're like, all right, final stand time, and then you try your best. So like, that's major aura point. Yes, there is a quiz. Thank you for asking, Wubs. I appreciate that. Right, so scenario 1. Let's play along here. Scenario 1. Ana gets jumped by you, but she spots you and interrupts your hack. With the self-heal perk, your strategy is to Translocate dodge the sleep or nade after taking damage and then try to skill diff anyway. You try your best. Maybe you get the kill, maybe you don't, right? The perk triggers, turns the gambit in your favor, and you kill her. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. What do you do with the stealth perk? I need you to participate on this one. What do you do if an Ana interrupts your attempt to hack her? Run, swap, die. Pray to God. Run away. Say something, okay. Say something bad in all chat. Right, that's right. You leave to go to the nearest health pack. That's right, that's right. You leave to go to the nearest health pack, right? Scenario 2. Same kind of scenario, but a little bit differently. Ana gets jumped by you. You hack her successfully, but a Genji spots you and dashes in. Now, in the self-heal perk, you Translocate up to break the line of sight, and then try to, like, play it in a way where you break line of sight of the Ana to burst down the Genji, right? So you bait him into getting away so that it's a 1v1, and he has to use abilities to chase you, right? And then it's like, it's a whole skill thing, right? 1v1, you pull him apart like string cheese, and it's all awesome and epic. What do you do with the stealth perk? That's right, Shadowmaker. You run away and leave to the nearest health pack. You're getting it! Scenario 3. In the middle of a hectic team fight, you are damaged. The Sigma uses Flux. He is not within hack range, right? In this scenario, you don't have EMP. With the self-heal perk, you Translocate dodge the Sigma Flux, right? And now, the big question is, what do you do with the stealth perk? What are you more inclined to do? I'm not seeing the full Mark's answer, but I mean, the gist of it is there. That's right. You leave to the nearest health pack. I'm already gonna spoil it. This one breaks the mold here. This is not the same. It actually isn't the same answer. In scenario 4, you notice a Juno on the side of a fight. You have to go through the enemy front line to get to her. No, this one actually is in the nearest health pack. I promise you, this is not a joke. Like this, no, okay, I understand why you would want to say that, right? So the strategy for the self-heal is fuck it, we ball. Translocate on the floor and then beeline it to Juno. Just like run at her. You might as well. You gotta be there as fast as possible so that they can't do any value. Because like maybe they activate the, if you take too long, she might activate her ultimate and then you can't even dive her anymore, right? So while the moment is there, you might be able to sprint to her if you find like the perfect blue lock strategy line to run through. The other one is a reason for you to then not engage anymore. And that's the big thing, because then you run the route that is mathematically the safest to avoid being spy checked or poked at all, because that's all permanent damage. And I don't think I need to describe that that's not good, because that decreases the amount of things you do per fight. That's rest is true. And then the final scenario, scenario 5, you run into a Sombra that has the other perk that you did not pick. So in the self-heal, you have a clear advantage, and you can only die if you simply fumble. We call that a skill issue. What what happens? Lose, that's right, you die. Congratulations, you die. Die running to the nearest health pack. I should have put that, you're right. So when do I pick it? Because I know that's gonna be the next question a lot of people ask. The answer is never. I do not pick this perk. I genuinely am remorseful when I pick it. It has been enough time with enough experimentation to realize this is not the play. It does not matter how much of a duration bonus it is a paradoxical perk that punishes you the more you use it without you being aware you're playing objectively worse. But what could make me pick the perk? And I'm just only adding this because I want to avoid the YouTube comment section on this one. I might pick it, and only if they add some form of bonus utility that forced me to pick it. So, like, movement speed boost. If I hack a target, like maybe it stacks. For every hack person that keeps the stealth going, I go like 10% faster. I don't know. Another one could be being stealth has a constant heal regeneration. So, like, one of the healing types is a burst heal kind of thing with, like, the self-heal Translocator, or being a stealth heals you the entire time, but very slow. Like, maybe like 10 healing per second or something. Could be cool. Or alternatively, like venture when they're borrowed. Being stealth increases cooldown rate on virus or hack. Something utility-wise, because right now, as it is, stealth itself is a type of ability that the more you use, the worse you are. Here's the truth bomb. I'll hide the camera. Even if the perk completely brings back permanent stealth, it would still not be the play. Even if that perk literally made stealth permanent again, I would still not tell people to pick it, because stealth is not inherently something you want to double down on. The healing adds to your impact. The stealth does not. All right, so the big motto for this perk, if I were to summarize it in a t-shirt quote, not ever being the reason you're losing is not the same as being the reason you're ever winning. Thank you. End of slander.